All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The year is 2024. The Houston Texans, coming off a 3-win season, bring in a rookie head coach in DeMeco Ryans, draft a rookie quarterback CJ Stroud, and then proceed to win 10 football games, win the division, therefore having a home playoff football game after starting the season 0-2, after being 3-4. I mean, what this Houston Texans team this season is spectacular, and they right now are playing with house money, and they are paired up against the Cleveland Browns, who, Joe Flacco's the starting quarterback. Old man Joe. Now, the Cleveland Browns have the second best defense in the National Football League, and Joe Flacco's passing statistics have certainly been very impressive. But I don't know, man. I'm liking this matchup. This is going to be a very intriguing, interesting game, but the point still stands. The Houston Texans are playing with house money, man. Most Texans fans, I would say, would have been happy this season with 7 wins and just the fact that CJ Stroud was a franchise-esque type of quarterback. Well, he exceeded expectations, and this entire team exceeded expectations. They finished the regular season putting up over 22 points per game, which is good for 13th in the National Football League, and their defense is giving up less than 21 points per game, which is good for 11th in the league. In fact, they are 8-1 when holding teams to under 20 points. Now, I know they just played the Cleveland Browns. Keep in mind, CJ Stroud did not play in that football game. We also, I know they hung up 30 on the Jets. CJ Stroud got injured. I know those are still not great defensive statistics. But guys, as far as I'm concerned, the defense steps up in big-time games when they need to. And just with DeMeco Ryans at the helm, I feel confident that this defense is going to be here to play. Now, before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Texans fans, I post at least one Texans video every single week. So if you could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. One thing that is really just so important to me in playoff football in general, but when I think about the Houston Texans, is they don't turn the ball over that much. And the Cleveland Browns with Joe Flacco, he's already thrown 8 interceptions. In fact, that last time they played the Houston Texans a couple of weeks ago, he threw 2 interceptions. Yes, I know he threw for like 370 yards, but he did throw for 2 interceptions. And once again, CJ Stroud didn't play in that football game. But the point is this. CJ's coming off a phenomenal season. Puka Nacua is a phenomenal rookie. I cannot believe that people actually don't have CJ Stroud as the just automatic offensive rookie of the year. It is actually blatantly disrespectful, in my opinion, that this dude is not the rookie of the year. CJ Stroud does not turn the ball over. He only had 5 interceptions on the season. He had over 4,000 passing yards. He didn't even play and finish in every single game this season. He threw for like 279 yards per game, but he only had 5 freaking interceptions. And for a team and a dude that throws the ball that much, it's an unbelievable statistic. And just once again, to hammer home this rookie of the year point, they won 3 games last season. They won 3 football games last season. Devin Singletary wasn't even the starting running back for a majority of the season. Tank Dell got injured. Nico Collins, people had question marks about him heading into the year. I mean, what CJ Stroud's done is spectacular. But my point is this. When we get into the playoffs, every mistake is just magnified times 100, right? If CJ can keep it clean, and obviously no fumbles, but if CJ cannot throw an interception, just keeps moving the ball down the field, touchdowns, not field goals, but at the end of the day, points are all that I really care about. Well, if Joe Flacco's already got 8 interceptions thus far, at that point, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to execute my offense. I'm going to be efficient. I'm going to move the ball downfield, right? Like I said, keep it clean. And I'm going to wait for my defense to pounce on Joe Flacco's mistakes, and then I'm going to capitalize. Now, another big thing is this, and this is what we saw in the matchup that these guys squared off in a couple of weeks ago. The Cleveland Browns, that game, keep in mind, Nick Chubb got injured. So they're without their starting quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and they're without their RB1 in Nick Chubb. I know both of those players have been out for majority of the season, but the Browns averaged 1.8 yards per carry against the Houston Texans a couple of weeks ago. Devin Singletary, now keep in mind that game got out of hand relatively quickly, so he didn't carry the ball that much. he averaged 4.9 yards per carry versus Cleveland. So if you can see my trend, if you can catch my drift at what I'm trying to get at here, you keep it clean, you move the ball down the field, you take time off of the clock by controlling the trenches, both offensively and defensively, drain that clock, dominate the time of possession, and most importantly, obviously keep it clean. I don't know how many times I will reemphasize that, but just keep it clean and wait for the Browns to make a mistake. Now, I did just see this before I hit the record button. Dustin Hopkins, the Cleveland Browns starting kicker, will be missing this game this upcoming Saturday. So I don't know. This is such an intriguing football matchup because the Houston Texans, and I understand, rightfully so, even though they're going up against Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns, the injured Cleveland Browns offense, they're underdogs. Even though they're at home, they're underdogs. I get it. You're 10-7. You just got into the playoffs with a huge win over the Indianapolis Colts. But once again, you won 3 football games last season. The Texans are pretty under-recognized in general. I think people understand, people know CJ Stroud is true. People understand this dude is the real deal. But I don't, if CJ Stroud was injured for more than a couple of games, we saw Case Keenum, we saw David Mills, we saw these dudes just not emulate the same success that CJ Stroud is. That's how special he is. And this team has been completely turned around. And I also want to talk about Shaq Mason because he's given up just a whopping 0 sacks and only 1 quarterback hit in his last 5 games. So I'm liking that. Obviously, the Houston Texans have a couple of things that they should improve on in the offseason, obviously. The offensive line being one of them, just more quality depth in general. But watch out for that offense, man. Then I want to talk about my defensive X factor in Will Anderson Jr., who hopefully is going to make Joe Flacco's day absolutely miserable. In his rookie season, 59 quarterback pressures, that is first on the Houston Texans, a 77.3 pass rush grade, and 7.5 sacks. I have a weird feeling, that my 3 rookies are going to be the deciding factor in this football game. And yes, DeMeco Ryans is involved in one of those rookies. But I love what DeMeco's crafted up. He's made really quality, talented quarterbacks look not quality and talented, right? And then we have CJ Stroud. And then we have Will Anderson Jr. I don't know, man. I just have a feeling inside the gut that both of those 2 players are going to win this Houston Texans football game this upcoming Saturday. So thank you guys for watching. That's all I got for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But most importantly, especially for my Texans fans watching this video right now, give me a score prediction. I know you guys are playing with house money. The season already has been a massive success, but a playoff win to me, I think would really shock the NFL world because the Cleveland Browns defense is really that legit. So I can't wait for Saturday. I know you guys can't wait either. Like I said, we'll get another Texans video out to you guys before the official kickoff happens. That's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and drop your score prediction down below.